Yes, I know, ladies and gentlemen. And no longer I'm doing reviews yet again, man. Only when I do reviews is on LimitsCenter. It's only to get this on your main YouTube channel and all audio platforms, obviously. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show, with your LimitsCenter for your Thursday, January 22nd of 2026. Most always, Lucas E. Allen on 1080 on YouTube. Also, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Lucas E. Allen. Also, Sadie's X Cyrus on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. To say the least as well. Watching today's podcast on YouTube, hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you done so already. Turn the bell for our post notifications up on this channel. And always leave a comment on my episode for your LimitsCenter for your Thursday, January 22nd of 2026. As always, if also on Spotify, leave me a 5-star rating comment as well. It'd be very nice as well, to say at least. Now, reason why I can basically do this was I released your Friday Night Smackdown January 16, 2026 review. Also your Raw review for your 19th of January for 2026. And also your Dynamite for your Wednesday of 2026 for obviously January of 2024, 21st, 2026, excuse me. Reason why I'm doing it because I want to be because the Dynamite review for last upload I did on this channel, AEW Dynamite review, went only 11 minutes for January 14th of 2026. Granted, I know the show is not great, obviously I said in that review. But 11 minutes for a review, man, and most of my reviews have been going kind of short recently, too. So yeah, I decided basically to combine with the LimitsCenter about some news to say, at least in its main YouTube channel, and also audio platforms Lucas E. Allen Show. So there you go, man. We'll also be discussing your Friday Night Smackdown, January 16, 2026 review. We'll be discussing that. And by the way, I'm going to be doing news probably tomorrow as well as Saturday night's main event predictions as well. Just to let you know about that to say at least. We're discussing now your Smackdown review for just January 16th, 2026. Let's see, Monday Night Raw, January 19th, 2026 review. We're discussing that. And as always, your AEW Dynamite, January 21st, 2026 review. Not a fun show as Raw and Dynamite at all this week. We're just it all on today's podcast. Go ahead, join or maybe it's always conversation this Thursday podcast for your Thursday, January 22nd, 2026 on the LimitsCenter. Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show. It's on today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And starting with, you obviously guessed, your Friday Night Smackdown, January 26, 2026 review. Starting in the arena, a group of bagpipe players was on stage to play Drew McIntyre to ring defend undisputed WWE champion to the ring. He took his time to get down to the ringside area and celebrate with some people in the front row. McIntyre had the crowd chant his name and looked like he might give more of a babyface promo before he turned on the crowd, obviously you can tell, and said that he had never been there for him when it counts the most. He also revealed that Cody Rhodes will not get a rematch per stipulation he snuck into the contract. This is when Randy Orton came out to remind McIntyre that he had beaten him before and could do it again. Also, Jacob Fatu came out, showed up, and went out after undisputed WWE champion Drew McIntyre, obviously. They fought the ringside area, and they assumed he used Orton to watch the ring. Fatu chased McIntyre through the crowd, allowing The Miz to sneak in behind Orton and hit him with a skull-crushing finale. That was basically the end of the segment. This was okay for what it was. Give it a B-. A solid segment to say at least. Drew McIntyre is always great on the microphone. Glad he's the undisputed WWE champion, obviously. I actually like that quite a bit, obviously. It was the right outcome. Him defeating Cody Rhodes for last week on SmackDown, say at least the 9th of January, 2026. Obviously, right outcome, man. You can't have that man face Cody again and lose again. That'd be fucking horrible. And I mean horrible looking. Like, how many times do we have McIntyre lose a World Championship matches for him actually win the match, to say the least? Or the championship, you get the point. So I enjoy it. So an okay start to the show. Give it a B minus. Nothing else other than that to give you there. Moving on to the more filler, obviously. Randy Orton. You know, this is kind of a better match than Miz has had in recent memory, but still. Randy Orton defeats The Miz to advance to Saturday night's main event for January 22nd or 24th of 2026 to the right to the number one contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. Gave us a B minus. One of the better Miz matches grades you'll ever get, honestly. But honestly, why is The Miz even contending for at least, even though it's for a number one contender shot at the undisputed WWE Championship? Why is he at least sort of in contention for the WWE Championship? It just makes no sense to me. It just makes no sense to me in say the least. Nice sip, my nice hot cocoa there, man. Salute, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can't see me, I'll be doing this, but salute my Green Bay Packers coffee mug. Yes, I'm still representing my Packers despite losing against the Bears in the wild card round. At least the Rams beat the Bears, by the way. At least give you that to say, at least. Good for the Rams. Moving on to this match is fucking... It was filler, honestly. It was not that bad. You had to be minus kind of just that great kind of it, too. Moving on to Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. They defeat Julia, the reigning defending WWE Women's United States Champion, and Kiana James. This gets a C+, an okay tag match. But why the flying fuck is Julia already not worried about the singles division at her Women's United States Championship? Why is she stuck in another tag division match with Kiana James against for example, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss? Why? Can we just have that woman on her own working for the mid-card division of Friday Night Smackdown Women's United States title? Keanu, do something Carmelo Hayes is doing with the men's United States, so have them do open challenges or something like that. Something at least get me invested in Julia's reign here. They're doing it already, man. Last week we had Last week on SmackDown, I think it was the 9th, obviously. We had Alexa Bliss taking on Julia, and Alexa put over Julia. That was great. I actually liked the match. It was not that bad. But then a week after, now we're doing this tag division bullshit again. Like, why, dude? I don't like it whatsoever. So I gave it a C+. It was an okay match, whatever, honestly. No. When we went back to the arena, Cody Rhodes, the former undisputed WWE champion, came out to the ring after losing the undisputed WWE championship last week at SmackDown for the 9th of January. And when reminds him what's next for him. The London crowd gave him a mixed response, by the way, boos and also cheers, obviously, which seemed to catch Rhodes off guard. Some fans were chanting his name, while others were booed him just as loudly. Rhodes said his reign had become episodic, which is a nice way of saying that it was becoming repetitive. There you go, an honest babyface. I actually like that, obviously. Kind of like it. Rhodes said he'd been entering the men's Royal Rumble match with the intention of being the second man to win it 3 times in a row. Let me stop there for 1 second. On what planet did Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble twice before? Granted, he won back-to-back, I can understand that. But it's not for the 3rd time in a row he's trying to win. In 2025, he was the undisputed WWE champion, so he couldn't even enter the Rumble match. So let me give you a guess who that winner was. It was the one half of the Usos, Jey Uso. So why the fuck is Cody Rhodes saying he wanted to be on back-to-back Rumbles the last 2 years? He's not going for a 3. He can be the third one he potentially could win, yes. But it's not like he won it 3 straight. He can be winning it 3 straight times. That's just not the case. That was an oddly thing to say there, obviously, because false information, obviously. So with that, I gave it a C+. It was just... And then he also spoke about Owen Jacob Fatu recipe for what he did to him last week. I obviously watched the WWE Championship. He just gets a C+, man. This show, man. Granted, this show where I'll show my surprise because of 2 things on the show. But the beginning of the show, I was fucking bored by the first hour and a half, to say at least, this review show. I was very bored, I ain't gonna lie to you people. And this gets a C+, going back and forth with B- and C+. Oh, joy. Riveling television there, Triple H. Speaking of C+, Trick Williams. defeats Matt Cardona to advance to Saturday night's main event for January 24th, 2026 for the right to become a number one contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. Probably spoiled it as a C+ again. Oh my goodness, man. This was an okay match, but seriously. And then Matt Cardona loses already his first match since becoming back to WWE as Matt Cardona. Obviously, he was in the before the last time it's not a tournament. He lost to LA Knight, and obviously he was Zack Ryder then, though. Like, this man's already losing his first match as Matt Cardona on WWE television. Granted, Trick Williams obviously won this match. Why would you put Matt Cardona in this position? First of all, why is he already fighting for the World Championship? You can't at least have him start off like in the mid-card division like the United States. So maybe have him face, I don't know, Carmelo Hayes. Literally. Whatever, man. I guess it's just another C+, honestly. This is just back and forth to C+ and B- on this show. Speaking of B-, unbelievable. Damian Priest. He defeats Solo Sikoa to advance to Saturday night's main event for January 24th of 2026 for the right to become the number one contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. Like I said, a B-. I'll show you how this show goes back and forth with mid grades, man. Mid to okay to whatever grades. And God's not a C or lane lower, though, I'll tell you that right now. But this show is just something else, right, people? Not in a good way, obviously. Not in a good way. Granted, some people really like this Priest and Sikoa match. Like, it was better than, Trick Williams and Matt Cardona, which I did give it a better grade than Williams and Cardona. Doesn't mean it's a perfect grade, though. I am tired of Solo Sikoa and basically these freaking MFT bullshits. Like, I am tired of MFT. I'm tired of Solo Sikoa. Get them the fuck off my television. The fuck, bro. The fuck. This gets a B-. Moving on to Carmelo Hayes, the reigning defending WWE Men's United States Champion. Defeats Leon Slater to retain the WWE Men's United States Championship. Finally, we're out of the B- and C+ trenches here. This gets a B+. This was fun. This was freaking fun, man. Easily the best match and best thing up to this point, obviously. I'll just show you how great Carmelo Hayes and great these United States Championship Open challenges have been. Since, obviously, Sami Zayn brought them back and put the Jenkins to John Cena's blessings last year in 2025. I love this, man. This match was freaking great. Big fan of Hayes, obviously one of my favorites in all of SmackDown, to say the least. Doing great work in the United States Championship. I'm glad he's finally getting his moments here. When he first got called up to make Raw, he didn't look like he was getting that whatsoever. So great for him, to say the least. So Carmelo Hayes defeats Leon Slater, retaining the Men's United States Championship. A very fun match here. So let's give it a B+. Moving on, it's not a B- or a C+, but it's lower than a B, C+, obviously. Jordan Grace. The reason why it's the grade it is now, not lower, because Jade Cargill is a gorgeous ass woman. Let me even say about that. She was on ringside during his match. Jordan Grace defeats, I want to say Chelsea Kalani Green. Oh my fucking god, man. I almost combined Kalani, Jordan, and Chelsea Green. Moving on, back to the stars again. Jordan Grace defeats Chelsea Green. After the match, Grace challenged Jade Cargill to reign defend WWE Women's Champion for said WWE Women's Championship then and there. Green then tried to attack Grace from behind, but ended up crashing into Cargill instead, which gave Grace a chance to pose for the championship before tossing it back to Jade Cargill. A big fat C. What the fuck are we doing with this women's championship and Jade Cargill, bro? What are we doing? What are we doing? Granted, Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill match hopefully get Jade's reign back on run, back in going land. But my goodness, man, I mean, then what, you have Chelsea Green in a triple threat match? Or, oh, please, don't do that, please. Big fan of Chelsea. But her and her gimmick right now should not even sniff the women's championship. The fuck would that be? That'd be stupid. And then you could have Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill as a one-on-one match. I don't mind that whatsoever. A nice filler for nice place stepping stone for Jade as the women's champion. No harm, no foul, and no Jeremy losing our world championship match. You count NXT women's championship matches you won't lose in. But still, man, anything to get Jade in her first defense during that championship. She has yet to defend this championship. What is it, about 80 days in this run? It's close enough. I'm a big Jade Cargill fan. But I can't defend this. I really fucking can't. I really can't. What are we doing with the Women's Championship on Friday Night SmackDown? It's like this company is just waiting patiently, well, not so patiently if you ask me, for Bianca Belair to return so we can get Bianca and Jade at WrestleMania for the Women's Championship. Other than that, nothing, everything is just trash filler. And I love this. I love Jade and I love Jordan Grace too. It'd be fun. It'd be a decent match for Jade as the Women's Champion. What are we doing to make me care about that at least? They're not even trying, ladies and gentlemen. What was that pose with the championship? Well, granted, I'd like to see Jordan Grace the Women's Championship as she looks great on her. But still, man, like, what are we doing with this feud? If you want to call it a feud at this rate. A big fat C. Shall I move on? To your main event, finally, Sami Zayn defeats Ilya Dragunov, best thing on the show here. In the main event to advance to Saturday night's main event for January 24th of 2026 for the right to become a number one contender for the undisputed WWE Championship in Drew McIntyre. Best thing on the show, and it's an A-. Freaking great. These two have great chemistry. The two amazing pro wrestlers in Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov, obviously. They are fucking great at what they do. And I think, honestly, Sami Zayn is the one to become a number one contender for the Undisputed WWE Championship. That's my prediction. I think he's going to win the Fatal 4 against Priest, Orton, and also Trick Williams. And I think he'll go to the Royal Rumble to face Drew McIntyre. I think he's going to lose to Drew. But hopefully they'll give the teases for early 2027 in Saudi Arabia. And 2027 at WrestleMania for 43. Because Sami Zayn is obviously popular in that type of environment. So probably looking to win the World Championship as the World Heavyweight Championship or Undisputed WWE Championship. Probably likely in Saudi Arabia at WrestleMania 43. That's my early prediction for that to say at least. So I don't think he's going to beat Drew McIntyre at Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble, but still. I think he'll probably get in Saudi Arabia World Championship moment, probably at WrestleMania 43 if you ask me though. But this match is freaking great between Zayn and Dragunov. Honestly, two amazing and great pro wrestlers, obviously. Very fun main event if you ask me, give it an A-. As the overall show great for Friday Night SmackDown January 16, 2026 is a B-. Somehow being a B-, thanks to probably Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, and Leon Slater for sure. That is your Friday Night SmackDown January 16, 2026 review on this podcast. Moving on to your Monday Night Raw, January 19, 2026 review. Starting with, we got a usual array of superstars arriving in the arena. Obviously in Belfast, Germany, I think this is. We went live into the arena with Gunther for Gunther's entrance. Gunther was all smiles, obviously, as he made his way to the ring. So, of course, a boost and chance of you tapped out. He only spoke for about a minute or so before he was interrupted by AJ Styles, who challenged Gunther to a rematch at the Royal Rumble. Gunther said that he plans to win the Royal Rumble and doesn't feel like pulling double duty if you ask me. Styles accused him of being scared, and which finally took a smile off Gunther's face. Gunther said he would do a rematch if Styles put his career on the line. Styles didn't give him an answer, and Gunther walked off to let him think about it at the end of the segment. This gets a C+. Are they really having Styles retire at the Royal Rumble? In Saudi fucking Arabia? Really? Because I don't think Gunther should lose anytime soon. They're just retiring John Cena. What, is he going to beat Styles twice and technically beat Styles twice? Like, ladies and gentlemen, why are we doing this type of shit? Why? Just to set up what if Wesley Styles wins, but I don't think Gunther should lose anytime soon. It says retiring John Cena and tapping out John Cena. You don't want that man to lose until at least summer this year. Maybe in SummerSlam. But still, man, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What, with Styles, what was me a DQ finish or something like that? In that case, or double count out or something, in that case, fine. Then in that case, that's fine. But why were they teasing Styles already retired the Royal? Like, why? What is the point of that? Even if he does retire, like, this man just started off in January 2026 on this mini retirement tour, if you want to call it. Probably at least up to WrestleMania 42. Just retire at the Royal Rumble and not even get to WrestleMania? Isn't that fucking weird? I don't trust this company whatsoever shit like this. I really don't. The match in the segment's not even that popular whatsoever. Gave it a C+. Moving on to Becky Lynch, the lovely Becky Lynch. The reigning defending WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. Defeats Maxine Dupree in about the 20th billionth different match they had on this show. Slight exaggeration, obviously. To retain the WWE Women's United States Championship thanks to Natalya turn on Dupree. A big fat C. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad Becky Lynch retained, obviously. But if you think that's the only reason why you think this would be minimum a C+, you've got to be out of your fucking mind. You gotta be out of your mind. Because what was the freaking point of this? Then you had Natalya costing Dupree and turning heel for 20 billionth freaking time in her career. Like, guys, what are we doing here? Can you not see how freaking boring this company is in 2026? I love Becky Lynch. Nothing to do with her, man. Just nothing to do whatsoever. Just a segment of match she's in. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Who freaking cares about heel Natalya against Maxine fucking Dupree? Who cares to see that? I am over Maxine Dupree as a pro wrestler. I don't care. I really could not give two iota of a freaking shit about Maxine Dupree. Sorry, not sorry, Maxine Dupree fans. I don't fucking care. And she gets a big fat C because of that. Oh, great. One of the 6 men tag team matches. This is such a banger match of these freakos online. Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Dragon Lee defeat Division. This gets a C+. Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, if you think I gave a fuck about this, you ought to be out of your mind. Like, what are we doing here? A 6-man tag, I don't give a flying fuck tag match. I don't give a flying fuck how good it was. I don't care. I'm just giving B pluses and B ratings on this in this match. Like, cut this shit and stop worrying about your gymnastics freaking bullshit. Can you stop for 1 minute about trios matches? Because I am tired of this in AEW, because the AEW is the kings of it. Or even WWE. I am tired of 6-man tag matches. I feel like we've seen on one there's a maybe particularly Dynamite, but still. This gets a C+. C+ is your grade. You think I give a fuck about this? You'll be out of your fucking mind. Moving on to something that just as worse on this show. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I love Rhea and Io, but still. The reigning defending WWE Women's Tag Team Champions were out in the ring break to hype up their match. That Saturday night's main event against Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Ripley said they have the Judgment Day's number. They'll retain the titles before both women focus on the Royal Rumble. As expected, Morgan and Perez came out out of her issue to response. Morgan said Ripley is going to turn on Sky because that is what she always does to her partners. And he teased there to say at least. Raquel Rodriguez attacked Ripley from behind to kickstart the 3-on-2 assault. Judgment Day ended up getting the better of Ripley and Sky. a big fat C. Now, I love Liv Morgan, and I love Roxanne Perez, love Io Sky, like Rhea Ripley quite a bit. Still, not give a fuck about this segment. You can make me see Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez looking like $1 trillion in this segment, I still wouldn't care. I love both of them. I can watch them like a good old hour at bare minimum, honestly. I just give them a whole freaking show, honestly. I'm bad an eyelash. I'm bad an eyelash whatsoever. But still, ladies and gentlemen, what are we doing? The women's tag team titles, and they're being decently booked. But still, man, we have like these makeshift tag teams like Ripley and Sky, who are both two great women's wrestlers on their own. And Morgan and Perez, who's great on their own too, but then again, it's more into Judgment Day stuff. Like, I don't know, Roxanne and Raquel as a team. Either Raquel and Roxanne as a team, or Raquel and Liv as a team. Like, Raquel is not that great on her own. I'm sorry, people. I don't care. She's not bad for what she is. I prefer in the tag team, honestly, division with somebody. Either Liv or Roxanne. Liv and Roxanne are great as a tag team, too. I mean, that's a pretty good duo, if you ask me. But still, man. I just didn't care for this segment whatsoever, man. This show was a freaking bore, man. Gee, Raw and Dynamite, I don't know which was worse. You can tell by the overall show, great when get to Dynamite is too, or else to the Raw, at least. Let's get to Big Fat C. Big Fat fucking C, excuse me. Ah, man, enough of the laughing, though. This is a serious note here. El Grande Americano defeats Siobhan Evans due to referee stoppage as Evans got hurt in the match. I'm not going to give a grade on this whatsoever because obviously Siobhan Evans got hurt. Obviously, we heard reports that he's not that injured, obviously. Which is great to hear, obviously. It's great to hear if you're a Siobhan Evans fan like I am. But still, man, to be sitting goes like a shoulder injury. I've heard at the end of the reports there. So hope he's alright to stay, at least, as it is right there. It's not going to get greater whatsoever. Moving on to the best thing by freaking far on the show. CM Punk, the reigning defending WWE World Heavyweight Champion, defeats Finn Balor, who came out to his old theme song and did his old entrance from NXT. Finn Balor. And I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I kind of marked out, honestly. I was a big Balor guy from NXT. Still am right now as a Judgment Day. But more so Balor from NXT. Like, that entrance was fucking top shit, man. And Greg, he came back at Ireland this theme song. I don't know if it's staying permanent. I hope it does, honestly. It'd be great if you ask me. But at least I think he's going back to at least his heel Judgment Day days, so he's sort of temporary before he Nelly gets kicked out, probably. I think he's the one turning face, not Dominic Mysterio. That's what I think, honestly. But anyway, CM Punk defeats Finn Balor in the main event to retain the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. By fucking far the best thing on this show. This gets an A-. Granted, the second best thing was titled as C+, I do two of them. The best thing is an A- on this show. Wasn't it for this, I'll be scared shitless when this overall show grade would be. Because my goodness, man, this show fucking was boring. But at least Balor and Punk put on a great main event in the World Heavyweight Championship match, to say at least. Very fun World Heavyweight Championship match, if you ask me. A- grade. Now, I hope to see babyface Finn Balor, hopefully, out of the Judgment Day. Back in the Raw main event scene, maybe in the main event, the Intercontinental Championship. But then again, if he's going to turn babyface, you have that man be a world champion. Like, we've seen Balor, the Intercontinental Champion, the United States Champion a couple times. Like, get that man back in the World Championship picture. Obviously, he got his title taken from him because of injury, the Universal Championship back in 2016. So hopefully we can see Balor back to main event status and main event the World Heavyweight Champion. May eventually this year, maybe in 2027, obviously. But this gets an A-, best thing on the show by fucking far. A-, your as your overall show grade for Friday Night Smackdown. Monday Night Raw, January 19, 2026 is a C+. Just because Balor and Punk put on a great championship match means the show is still good, though. It was obviously not a good Raw, if you ask me. Overall show grades a C plus. It says Night Asian Monday Night Raw, January 19, 2026 review. And finally, everybody, for your LimitsCenter podcast for your Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, your AEW Dynamite January 21st, 2026 review. This review from last night's show, obviously. Starting with Tony Schiavone, introduced AEW World Champion MJF. To start the show, he called himself the best wrestler on earth and insulted the fans throughout. Brody King interrupted to request a World Championship match tonight, which is fucking laughable, honestly. MJF refused, as he should, as a potential challenger had not declared elite level talent. Which I'm a big Brody King fan, but MJF's obviously right here. While MJF said he wasn't afraid of King, he retreated right after he get too close to him. Brody King, obviously. Leaving another challenger in search for a path for his championship opportunity. This match, he said he's an overall grade of D freaking plus. I always exaggerate that one, am I right, people? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care to see Brody King go after the World Championship. Like, I'm a big Brody King fan, don't get me wrong, but he's not at least a contender for the AEW World Championship with all this talent on this roster. And again, Brody King is great at what he does, don't get me wrong. But have him, of all people, go after the World Championship. And MJF. Kind of does not look like make you want to shake your head. Does it not? Because it makes you shake my freaking head. Oh my goodness, man. Who fucking cares? Big MJF fan, but I just did not care. I did not care. Moving on to Samoa Joe, and someone just as bad, just barely better, but still not great at all. Samoa Joe defeats people like Bayley, one half of AEW World Trios Champions, to him, Jet Speed, with Kevin Knight, and Hangman Adam Page. This, my friends, is the overall grade of a C-. Starting off with a D+, and following that as a C freaking minus. Not a great start at all, obviously, for Tony Khan's company and All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. My God, man, who fucking cares? I'm not sure I've been so negative all along this podcast. It's because these shows are not good. These are not good shows, man. SmackDown's probably the best out of the three. But still, man, it was a great show either. It's better than the two others as mentioned. Raw and Dynamite. My goodness, man, who fucking cares? Who cares? C- is your freaking grade. On to the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, reigning defending AEW Continental Champion, Wheeler Yuta, and Daniel Garcia defeat the Don Callis family in a so-called street fight. This gets a B-. It was a good match, obviously. Getting into trios match, technically at least there's a stipulation involved here. But still, I could not care, honestly. But the Don Callis family and the Death Riders. Is the Death Riders automatically babyface until they now be turned on Jon Moxley? Is this blink of an eye, this hostile takeover all 2025? It's now just a babyface staple? Don't you think it's kind of ridiculously dumb, if you ask me? Whatever, man, it's just a B-. Not a bad match, but I don't fucking care, obviously. Moving on to Can't Care FTR, reigning defending AEW World Tag Team Champions. Defeat Jordan, Oliver, and Alec Price. Almost said Alec Pierce with the Colts wide receiver. Who freaking cares, man? C+. C+. Who cares? Well, who the fuck is a Jordan Oliver and Alec Price? What the fuck is this show, man? Who fucking cares? And granted, it's not enhancement, so they actually had to put up a good fight to the FTR here. Like, not even All Elite. I don't even fucking know at this rate. These shows make me want to make my fucking brain just go through a brick wall, honestly. Raw, Smackdown, Dynamite, even NXT, obviously, especially NXT. Yeah, man, this show, man. Dynamite, Raw, and Smackdown, I feel pretty negative all podcasts long, but still. It's just the truth, obviously, let me say. What I feel from my soul, obviously. C+. Shall we move on? Hopefully a better match here. Again, Kenny Omega defeats Josh Alexander of the Don Callis family. This gets a fun match out. You're doing these Kenny Omega and Josh Alexander, two great pro wrestlers. But can you make him care a little bit more there, Tony Khan, and just blow it off this big time kind of match here between Kenny Omega and Josh Alexander for a random episode of Dynamite, not even just the main event? And I guess not, obviously. You gotta be able to make me fucking care. What are these shows, man? Man, this match was freaking good. I like this match quite a bit. I'm a big Omega fan. Big Josh Alexander fan. Josh Alexander is nothing but a freaking loser in this company. That's just Tony Khan for you. But still, man, this gets a B to say at least. It's not a very good match if you ask me, though. Moving on to Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Defeat Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa at the time of Time Bomb, This gets a B-. Not a bad match here whatsoever. But still, just like the rest of the matches on the show, could not fucking care. They go some segment on Collision and maybe produce this match on the show. Like, really? I even cover Collision on my Reels, my YouTube Shorts, my Instagram Reels, and TikTok videos. Go check that out. That's main section. And Lucas EL 1018 on social media. Obviously, this YouTube channel, it's over Shorts. But still, man. Just because you build us on Collision means you should know about it. I swear to God. What are we doing here? This match after match after match after match. One promo segment and match after match after match. Like, again, it's a pro wrestling show. You need to give me at least community in the middle with some storylines too. The one storyline we got developing on the show is fucking Brody King and MJF for the world title. Like, really, that's the best you got for at least a promo segment on the Bring Rain Tony Khan? Oh my God, man. What are we doing with these promoters between Triple H and Tony Khan, man? Unbelievable. And by the way, speaking of the women's match, do I miss my girl Mercedes Moné already. Not that she gets great booking here, but at least she gets some good, at least women I can just freaking invest into. I know Toni Storm is great. I love Megan Bayne too. But still, man, give me something to care about. This show bored the living shit out of me. Same thing with Raw and same thing with sort of a SmackDown. You know, it's technically better than Raw and Dynamite, but still. This gets a B- to say at least. It's your main event, your final part of this podcast. Swerve Strickland. And the main event defeats Kevin Knight in a freaking banger match show. A- is your grade. Great match. Freaking great match. Big Kevin Knight fan. Obviously, big Swerve Strickland fan. And this thing, I don't mind being a Dynamite main event. This is probably a main event too. I don't mind this taking place on Dynamite for a main event. But still, and plus there are probably implications with like Kevin Knight with Speeble guys. Obviously, Hangman Page, the trio champions. Someone has that 1/3 of trio champions. It's kind of interesting if you ask me. That Swerve's tag team partner is facing. 1/2 of 1/3 of the trio champions is tag team partner. Technically, it's Hangman and Page. It's 1/3 of championship, but whatever. I don't care about the trio titles at this rate whatsoever. I just prefer to be demolished at this rate. What do you want me to say? Fun if you ask me. This main event was freaking great. Swerve's great. You know, big Kevin Knight fan. And this gets an A-. Best thing on the freaking show, honestly, in my opinion. And it's the overall show. Great for AEW Dynamite. January 21st, 2025. It says 2025. 2026, excuse me. Is another C+, just like Monday Night Raw this week. That is your AEW Dynamite January 21st, 2026 review. on this podcast. And thank y'all for watching. Lucas Limits on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas Leon Show, which is LimitsCenter for your Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow on this main YouTube channel, Lucas Leon 1018, and also audio platforms, Lucas Leon Show. Which next is LimitsCenter for your Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Discuss all things news. A lot of news coming out in the world of professional wrestling. We're going to talk about on this podcast as always. Until next time, it's just me next time. Peace and love, I am out. I love y'all big time, to say the least.